The auditors of Diwan Housing Finance have listed several qualifications and disclaimers to the company's annual financial statement. Remember, the results first released on July 13th were unaudited. In addition, the auditors have thrown significant doubt on DHFL's ability to continue as a going concern. Vishwanath Nair is standing by with a list of the red flags. Vishy, good morning.
Good morning.
You made it a habit of coming early and we love that. The point is, the reasons are not that great, and DHFL in particular. Now we all know, we had spoken about it, they're unaudited, unchecked, we don't know what will be beneath. Now the auditor statements have come out.
Sure, Neeraj, so when they first released that the unaudited results on the 13th of July, after that, the following Monday, the company had put out a statement saying that, they had also flagged off these going concern issues and some of the newspapers picked up. And the company said that probably newspapers are sensationalizing it, but now the auditors are bringing it up again and they're saying that, there are certain issues on the company's book which will cause problems for the going concern status. Now, first of these is with respect to about 5,600 crore worth of intercorporate deposits, and that's a large number of intercorporate deposits. Now, according to what DHFL is saying, now it's flashing on your screen right now, there is insufficient evidence to evaluate the recoverability of loans as well as some of these intercorporate deposits, and that is a big issue, that whether the company will be able to repay its depositors. These are essentially unsecured in nature. It's money extended by banks and other financial entities to the company. So there is no clarity on whether there is going to be any recoverability of the loans. The next point is with respect to loans and pass-through certificates. Now, pass-through certificates are part of a securitization structure that the company follows. So there again, the company saying, the auditors are saying that there is no clarity on whether that money can be recovered or whether the value of those funds has been properly recorded on the company's books or not. And that again is a big problem. Now, there was also an issue with respect to the checks that the company had received from some of its borrowers. The company said that it had not cashed those checks, but had accounted for the receipts of the check. And that the auditors are saying is an issue. Now, the company at that point in time had said about 1,900 crore worth of collections could be impacted. The auditors have put that number of the actual loan amount for which all of this is coming up. It's about 16,500 crore. So again, big part of DHFL's book, that again is under question. A bunch of issues as well. Another issue is about the credit and legal evaluation of certain loans. There again, there are about 24,000 odd crore worth of loans which are under question. DHFL's overall book as of March 31st was 89,000 odd crore, according to the company's own admission. Nearly 55,000 crore of that is just to retail. And if what the auditors are saying is correct, and if there is no clarity on some of these loans, then that becomes a problem for the company to be able to sell those loans forward. An NBFC depends on that. That's its bread and butter. Sell the loans back to the banks and then earn that money, use that liquidity to further lend. If the quality of those loans is under question, then the selling of those loans becomes a problem. So, all of this put together is going to cause a lot of issues with respect to how you want to view the company. The company is already waiting for certain investments, waiting for certain debt restructuring plans to work out. So all of that comes into question if you believe what the auditors are saying in their report.
Yeah, and which is why I bring forth the point that when a lot of people talk about buying into the DHFL stock because the price has corrected or otherwise, my question is simply this. Do you know the nature of the books? The auditors themselves don't seem to be knowing that. So do you know what is there in the books and what is the true value for you to go out and even bet on that in the first place? And therefore, are you making an investment or are you making a punt? That's the key question that you got to ask yourself. But having said that, while I have my issues, at least one investor is said to have shown interest in DHFL's asset regime.
That's right. So what we understand from our sources is that Aeon Capital last evening met with State Bank of India officials to discuss a potential investment in DHFL. Now, remember, this is only a discussion and it's in very preliminary stages. Even in the notes to accounts that the company had put out, it had said that it had received non-binding term sheets. in the history of distressed company asset sales, we've seen a lot of non-binding term sheets come in and then eventually not pan out into final investments. We don't know what is going to happen in this bit, right? Maybe there is an investment, maybe there is not. All of that will get clearer as the company's restructuring plan gets resolved, because that is the main key, right? Any investor who comes in will value the company at a certain value. And if the debt exceeds that value, then obviously the investor is going to seek a haircut from the creditors, and the creditors need to approve that. How exactly the creditors are looking at it, the company on its part has said that none of the creditors will have to take a haircut. Now, if the investor is seeking a haircut, that becomes a problem. So we'll need to see, what the lenders have in mind. Later this month, the company is expected to submit its resolution plan. What that resolution plan says and whether that is something that the lenders will be okay with, all of that will determine whether that investment is actually coming in or not. Now, what we understand from our sources is also that as part of the entire restructuring plan, you could give DHFL more loans. You could also convert some part of its liabilities into long-term equity-like instruments, so that there's a 0.1% interest on that, so it becomes benign pretty much on the books. You could also extend the tenure of the loan. So all in all, a full restructuring of its liabilities would help DHFL come back into business. They are aiming for August to restart lending operations, but July is crucial for them because all of these approvals need to be in place.